Beaten in a basement, dragged out through a bulkhead, and left in a snowstorm to die in the cold.
That's how Karen Reed's family claims John O'Keefe was killed in the town of Canton. They shared that theory with 25 Investigates reporter Ted Daniel.
Ted spoke to Reed's parents for nearly 2 hours about their fight to prove their daughter's innocence.
It seems logical that police would have looked at Karen Reed as a possible suspect. One of her taillights had fresh damage. She openly questioned if she hit John O'Keefe, and prosecutors say she left him a voicemail that night saying she hated him. Those are some of the facts being used against her, but Reed's parents and thousands supporting her say there's so much more to this story that doesn't add up. She's from Canton with a career in finance. He was a Boston cop from Braintree.
I really don't want to be in the picture.
Get over here.
Karen Reed's parents say she and John O'Keefe became serious in 2019, right before the pandemic.
They just seem to be in a happy place, you know, yeah.
And spending a lot of time together?
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Vacations together.
Yep.
Going out together.
If the relationship had become toxic by January 2022, as prosecutors allege, it's not apparent from this snapshot in time. At C.F. McCarthy's in Canton, they laugh and embrace during a night of heavy drinking. According to police, Karen would back over John and leave him for dead in a snowstorm 2 hours later. Prosecutors say it happened outside the Canton home of another Boston cop named Brian Albert. Karen says she dropped John off there for a get-together.
During your first discussions with Karen, did she believe she may have hit John?
No. No. She felt she struck something. She said, "Dad, I think I struck something." I said, "What do you mean?" Right? This was in the hospital. Right? She says, "I remember, all right, backing up and hitting something."
Police find damage to the passenger side taillight of Karen's Lexus LX 570. How the damage occurred is in dispute. The Reeds believe it happened when Karen backed out of John O'Keefe's driveway, hours after police say she hit him. Here's the video.
She backs up to go out and search for John O'Keefe. And that's how that vehicle was damaged.
In court documents, prosecutors say the video only shows Karen coming close to John's car, and no fragments or pieces of a broken taillight were discovered in John's driveway.
Look at it frame by frame. And you tell me whether or not the O'Keefe vehicle, the left rear wheel, does not jetson forward upon impact and return to its previous position.
Police did discover pieces of taillight where O'Keefe was allegedly hit, but the Reeds say it wasn't until after Karen's SUV was in the custody of law enforcement. State police reported towing the Lexus to the Canton police station at 5:30 p.m. Nathan Reed says daylight video from his dad's house shows the car was taken more than an hour before that.
They confiscate Karen's car at my parents' residence in North Dighton at 4:16 p.m. And somewhere in the neighborhood of 5:30, 5:45, Mass State Police CERT team comes back to the scene. They search the scene then with 2 feet of snow, and pieces of a tail lamp are found on top of the snow.
The Reeds also question John's injuries as seen in autopsy photos. They say John appears to have dog bites on his arm. The defense theory is that O'Keefe was beaten inside the Albert home and attacked by the Albert's German Shepherd. Brian Albert's attorney declined to comment.
Our investigators also have found multiple people who have been attacked by the dog. I think John O'Keefe entered that house, was sucker punched, a fight ensued, and he was overwhelmed.
Prosecutors call that theory a fanciful conspiracy. According to the Norfolk DA's office, 8 people inside the home and 3 more outside had testified that O'Keefe never entered. The office says GPS data from O'Keefe's phone backs that up. And the medical examiner who performed an autopsy on O'Keefe found no signs of Mr. O'Keefe being involved in any type of physical altercation or fight.
If the events happen the way Karen's attorneys say they did, how many people would have to be involved in the cover-up?
My sense is that there are a handful of people, influential people, who know what happened. And ultimately, all right, will resolve these issues. My daughter will be free. That's what I believe.
Are you confident of that as well?
Yes. Yep.
Is Karen
Yes.
that confident?
Yes. Yeah. We are.
The Norfolk County DA's office is now publicly pushing back. A spokesperson tells me there was no conspiracy or cover-up. Such claims have been systematically refuted by evidence, including the medical examiner's report, the GPS data of the victim's phone, and the detailed crash reconstruction analysis, and the electronic event data recorder from Karen Reed's car. Both sides appear to be digging in as this case moves in the direction of a heated trial. For 25 Investigates, I'm Ted Daniel.